way above the stadium, which is 32 feet below street level, the playing surface here for the Blackhawks and the Capitals and the starting goaltenders presented by Honda. Corey Crawford turned 30 yesterday. He has won a Stanley Cup. He has been in an outdoor game. Just 2 years ago, a champion, a native of Montreal. At the other end is Braden Holtby from farm country, 6,000 acres, Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. He is the main man for Washington. It is his 14th consecutive start. Alexander Ovechkin is always near the top in scoring and is always near the top in registering hits. He is not dull. As a personality or as a hockey player, he stands out. He likes the big stage. There is none bigger for him than this one. Jonathan Toews, the smooth skating, playmaking captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. These guys have all mostly been in outdoor games before, but everyone quickens the pulse just a little bit more. Partial sunshine as we begin here this afternoon at Nationals Park. Poised and ready, Francois Saint Laurent, Kelly Sutherland, the referees, Scott Cherry, Tim Nowak are the linesmen. The signal is given, and this Winter Classic is underway. Always fascinating to hear how the crowd roars at the start. Ovechkin, first chance, save made by Crawford. One shot on goal registered early.
Oh, you heard both coaches in their pregame speech talk about just shooting the puck really from anywhere at any time, especially with these elements that all players, especially the goaltenders, have to deal with, and a good opportunity there for Alexander Ovechkin.
Toews controlled on this faceoff. Brent Seabrook throws it, kept alive by Carlson. John Carlson saw one go to the corner, and a big O from the crowd as it's played along now by Jay Beagle. Jammed around behind, and Beagle has that one, nudges it on to Backstrom. Nicholas Backstrom able to lay it onto the back. Brooks Orpik, a question mark, but decisively in after he took the skate prior to the game. Game time decision, and he's there. This is his fourth outdoor game for number 44. Brought back ahead by Beagle, then poked on right near Ovechkin, but sent across by Nicholas Hjalmarsson, who gets it back again from Swedish compatriot Johnny Oduya. Alsner twirled it along, and offside is called. We mentioned Brooks Orpik. For the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, we didn't want to overlook anybody. Daniel Carcillo has played in 4 of these, and so has Brad Richards. The difference between Richards, Orpik, and Carcillo is Carcillo does have a major penalty for fighting at Fenway Park. During the game, that is. Brought on by Lyke, and a shot, and that turned aside. And then we get a stoppage of play as it goes out of play.
You know, Eddie and Doc, we've been in a lot of these games, but this is about the best I've ever seen the ice. I know it's early on in the game, but I think the ice will continue to evolve and get better. But look how flat the pucks are when they're being passed. That says a lot about the quality of the ice.
Yeah, the weather has really helped out, and they've only had probably going to have a little maintenance here with the left goalpost, the mooring that holds the net in place for Corey Crawford, but we've only had about 10 plus hours of actual ice time over the course of since the rink has been put in here at Nats Park. That includes the 2 teams practicing yesterday and the skate around with their families and members of each organization.
On a sunny day, the eye black is very important. And even in the family skate yesterday, some of the children had eye black on. Made sense, it was sunny out here. Smith trying to work behind Ben Smith of the Blackhawks. Carcillo, mentioned earlier, played that one along, wearing number 13. Tied up right along the Washington Capitals bench area, right in front of Pierre.
There goes Latta and Carcillo jawing at one another. Carcillo pushing back.
And Latta gives him a hard shove. Carcillo shoves back. They jab at one another, and play continues. And now Latta having words with Kruger. That is probably not a matchup, but 13 would have been. Rattled right back in again and along near Matti Niskanen of the Caps defense. Poked along by Patrick Kane, guided back out again, and a nice pass ahead for Marcus Johansson. Johansson dips the shoulder, tries to get by, and around behind is able to feed. Alsner a shot, and it wouldn't go. They battle on the boards further, and it's pushed around behind where it can be played on the outside by Troy Brouwer, the ex-Blackhawk. Over 200 games with both franchises. Here's Chalmerson taking over here, guiding it off the glass to the safety of center. It is an international cast. 14 Olympians of the 40 players who are suited up today. Impressive athletes. Pressed to the glass at center was Brian Bickle by Karl Alsner. This one guided ahead by Patrick Sharp. Reaching is Carlson, persisting is Shaw, saving on the play is Holtby, and a disagreement after.
Oh, a nice little play there by Patrick Sharp entering the capital zone, and then all of a sudden Andrew Shaw finds his way with an opportunity, and Braden Holtby stands tall. There's the play from Sharp. Good support, strength in numbers, a miniature 2-on-1, and Shaw with the chance.
And the points matter right in front of me. Dan Carcillo, Michael Latta, 1 year in Phoenix. Dan Carcillo had 345 minutes in penalties, so he knows what he's doing out there, and he's trying to goad Latta into maybe a little bit of an intimidation kind of situation.
We are very close to the ice. Patrick Sharp is poised at the edge for this faceoff. I think he might be wearing those special glasses. Here's one that's guided away by Holtby. We'll get a better look here. Another shot. Oh, and Holtby got a piece of that. They practiced some with sunglasses yesterday, and we were curious how many were going to wear them. There's another hard shot on goal by Sharp. Picked up there and cleared back out to center. Brooks Laich is able to bring it ahead. Here's Laich with a man-breaking shot one, and that one was blocked away by Crawford. Bickle able to guide it ahead. The big winger brings it on, trying to work in. Pressed there by Matti Niskanen. Jammed along behind by Ward and taken by Orpik. Turned back over, and Bickle with a little pass that will be chased down by Hossa. Fed to the front, taken on by Taves. Back to Chalmerson. Drive! And that one waffle-boarded away to the corner by Holtby. Dug out there and worked along by Hossa again, and a quick shot got the glass. The try coming from Saad. It is Saad around behind again. Saad just twirling to the outside. Puts on the brakes, trying to shake his man fair. Around behind further, it's given to Hossa. Shot! And that one blocked aside. Again, it's taken in deep was Oduya. Fed it across for Saad. Grabbed off by Chalmerson. Connects off the stick of Taves. Rescued by Niskanen. Played back on, and Oduya skittered it around behind. Here's Taves sending one across. And that one escaped to the wall, where it's played back out by Joel Ward. And offside is called, but the action has not stopped. You see shadows on the ice, and the sun may be caught by some sunglasses, but this is yesterday. Karl Alsner wearing them. Patrick Sharp has darkened eyes, but not because of sunglasses, just because of the eye black that the players often wear. And it's interesting, eye black was developed in this very city in the 1940s.
Tinted half shield as well for Patrick Sharp.
Kicked aside by Crawford and fed on across. Has to be played hurriedly by Seabrook. And he will retreat to play behind Crawford again. From the sun to the shade, we often talk about that in terms of baseball, but not hockey. But you do see a shaded side, the side right in front of us, the near side as you watch it.
And talking to Duncan Keith after the pregame warm-up, that's exactly what happened. Doc, he said you'd be in the shade, then you turn, all of a sudden you have to adjust your eye level and kind of get refocused again and look for players on the ice. Very difficult, very challenged when you have to do that.
Played to the outside by Chris Versteeg, around behind for Patrick Kane. Here's Kane shoved down, but gets right back up to play. And Versteeg's shot, and that one turned aside. As Holtby has been the busier of the men right now. Guided on by Alsner, and back out. Brought back ahead and played on by Kruger, chased down by Smith. Dropped on back, and it's picked up there by Mike Green. Carcillo is out there again, And I'm sure Pierre heard more than he wants to talk about when they were colliding in right around him at center ice. But another big collision and a crowd gathers.
And Tom Wilson in the middle of it with Ben Smith. So, Doc, as you like to say, the tough guys are out there and pushing. There's Carcillo and Jason Chimera, now Wilson with Carcillo. So these guys are playing for keeps. This is not an exhibition game outdoors on January 1st. Right across from the Chicago Blackhawk bench, there's a gathering of the Clans. Physical play. Tom Wilson known for that. Ben Smith gets a little help.
Well, from the official's helmet cam there, you get a real good look at pushing and shoving, and they have some penalties.
Probably more to control the game and send a message to Wilson and Carcillo. Don't be running around recklessly. The fans don't like it, though. The fans want to keep seeing the hitting.
Why is that, Pierre?
They're carnivores, Doc?
No, it's the H in hockey stands for hits, and we've seen a lot. And I think that adds to just the verve of the game. They can travel 25 miles an hour and collide with stationary items. I'm right up next to one. This glass here is more than stationary. It doesn't give a whole lot. And Carl Alsner still does have the shades on, so he is going with those sunglasses today. I sense a new cottage industry, hockey sunglasses for outdoor play. Probably not cottage, I'm sure it's big business already.
A lot of room 4-on-4 here.
Here charges Ovechkin. Flying ahead, the Caps captain fired one that's turned aside by Crawford. Work back to the outside for another pass to the back. Carlson a shot, and that one held by Crawford. Play stopped here with about 6 minutes and 7 seconds gone. Exciting afternoon here, but scoreless. The NHL Foundation and Honda have partnered to benefit the Ronald McDonald House charities. To aid in transporting families to and from the hospital, Honda will donate a 2015 Honda Odyssey EXL to the Ronald McDonald House in the city of the winning team. And for every shot on goal during today's game, the NHL will contribute $200 towards programs that improve the health and well-being of children. For the NHL Foundation and Honda, the biggest assist happens off the ice. See that third tier there to the left of the right field foul pole? That's where Bryce Harper parked one in the playoffs against the Giants. 450 feet. There have been some drives to center field in fifth or sixth row underneath the big scoreboard. 450 third tier in the playoffs. Big time. Here's Backstrom on this faceoff. As you see the left field crowd in the background. He is chased out. Ovechkin will come in to take this draw against Jonathan Toews. Right on goal, had to be spiked away, and another save. It's made by Crawford. Both goaltenders have been sound. Brought right back ahead by Toews, finesses it in one-handedly. Sawed around behind, is checked off by Carlson. In deep is Hjalmarsson to play. Floated behind for the turn by Toews. Oh, and fanning on it was Saad. In a perfect pass, it seems. Ovechkin gallops right back and tries to pull his way through Johnny Oduya. Neither guy gave on that one. So it is Toews. A horn will sound 3 minutes and 20 seconds from now. Halfway through the period, they'll change ends. Here's one shot. Here's another shot by Saad. And Braden Holtby got them both.
Well, a near miss for Brandon Saad at one end, and he comes right back and creates two chances here. Good save by Holtby, left pad save it, and Saad stays right with it off the backhand. Go back to the Capitals chance. Alexander Ovechkin comes in and takes that shot off the faceoff, and Nicholas Backstrom with a good opportunity. Another good stop there from Corey Crawford.
And you talk about playing one-on-ones. There's Johnny Oduya. Don't play the puck, play the man, and he deposits it. It's Alexander Ovechkin right down to the ice. Great job by Oduya.
From this face-off, Fair is able to win it. He of the two-goal game in Pittsburgh in the rain. At the Winter Classic, trouble for the stop on Seabrook. Darting right back in is Fair. He scores!
our high up top look shows the foot race of the man who Doc was just talking about, Eric Fehr, who scored 2 goals in the outdoor game in Pittsburgh. He must have been hearing you, Doc. He got this puck because the puck was bouncing right past us, right over the stick of Brent Seabrook and the skates, and the Capitals with a 1-0 lead.
Is Alsner back to play with 2:50 left before we change ends. Johansson with a shot, and that blocked up high. Whenever the NHL senses there is an advantage to one team, either through wind or vision or whatever reason, they will switch ends halfway through to make it fair.
I talked about that bouncing puck. There's Brent Seabrook, tries to keep it in, and when he's standing still and Fehr has a start, goes a little backhand, forehand. Great patience there by Fehr, and beats Corey Crawford.
His 11th goal of the year, an unassisted goal, 7:01 elapsed time.
It was one of those plays, Doc, and I mean, we're within about 100 feet of Pierre, of his inside the glass position, but you saw that puck bouncing the whole way. And really, Seabrook, no chance to keep that in.
Here's Sharp with a shot, and that one was juggled a bit, but then held by Braden Holtby.
Well, the Chicago Blackhawks just tried a little gamesmanship there. Marian Hossa came down to my end of the ice. After possession was won, Hossa jumps on. You're going to see he's going to jump in behind the Washington Capitals defense on a line change. There he is. That was like the sleeper playing football, Doc and Eddie.
Look at the top of your screen, the left part. There's Hossa, and that's the play that Pierre was talking about. Quick little change. A quality chance there for Sharp.
Well, Pierre pointed out the ice opens up with a player from each side in the penalty box. That is where they are for 7 more seconds. Icing is called, and the faceoff will come back near Holtby.
Eddie and Doc, I got to tell you, Joel Quenneville is coaching as well as I've ever seen him coaching. This Chicago Blackhawk team, Eddie, I know you get to see him a lot live, but they're as much fun as any team in the league to watch right now. And I think a big reason why Joel Quenneville and the way he's coaching.
He is the 3rd winningest coach in the history of the sport. This comes to the back now for a play by Roosevelt. Rattled on around for Patrick Sharp, jostled a bit by Carlson. Stepped away, but the puck was lost. Turned back on carefully by Orpik, and then spirited ahead. Kuznetsov dropped it back in and went right in after it. Almost stepped free, but then it popped on where it is played on back by Sharp and worked on by Carcillo. And then lofted back in by Hossa. One of the strategies discussed in prior Winter Classics, especially when the sun is involved, is the notion of throwing a puck in from a distance or throwing it in high, causing the goaltender more trouble. The long shots or the high dump-ins. Haven't noticed that much of that happening here as Versteeg plays it behind.
Yeah, you're going to need a little bit of time to be able to try to execute that type of play, but sometimes that happens maybe in teams in the middle of a change, Doc, where you're able to go ahead and make one of those type of plays.
Seabrook, Kane, chipped on back, and Seabrook yet again. 1:20 in the first half of this period. Backstrom saw it chipped away by Versteeg, lobbed on out by Mike Green. After it is Brooks Laich, and Laich is able to move in, but he was in early ahead of the puck, and so offside is called. Today is your last chance to vote for your favorite NHL All-Stars in the 2015 NHL All-Star Fan Vote presented by SiriusXM. Cast your ballot today at NHL.com/vote at 11:59 Eastern Time. The gates are closed. No hanging chads considered, and we sense that a guy from Buffalo who wears 28 Zemgus Jurgensens will be the #1 balloteer. And there are 5 Chicago Blackhawks who at last check were numbers 2, 3, 6 in the fan voting.
Jurgensen's getting the votes from Buffalo there, but he's also probably getting the votes from all the people in Dubuque, Iowa, where he played his junior hockey in the United States Hockey League for the Dubuque Fighting Saints. No All-Star game last year because we were at the Olympics in Sochi, and this year we'll be in Columbus, the home of the Blue Jackets.
Also tipped that one ahead. Carlson can play it there. On across for the float back by Jay Beagle. Denied by Oduya at center, but persisting was Backstrom. And so back in it comes again, and hustling was Hjalmarsson to play that ahead.
Remember, we're going to have a hard horn here at the 10-minute mark to switch in.
43 seconds from now. Angled on. They have Orpik at the point, but don't send it there. Instead, it's a difficult angle shot, but right in on goal where it could be stopped by Crawford. And that came from Ovechkin. Meanwhile, it can be played along now by Backstrom, but chasing it down is Brooks Orpik.
And that's just to make sure that, you know, both teams have the same vantage point with the sunlight here early in the game.
Deflected back down, there'll be no icing here, and so it's Hjalmarsson firing it around, and Sharp waiting, and then popping one ahead that will skip back in and become an icing. Talked about the development of eye black here in Washington. A guy named Andy Farkas was a Redskins fullback, and this would have been in 1942. Decided to put the grease on his cheeks for probably windburn, but also because of the sun. Decades later, it has become a family business with Brian developing the Farkas eye black. It is the waxy sort. There are others that are just peel-on sort of decals that also are used by players. Oh, two great saves made by Crawford at the horn. That ends the first half of the first period.
Great recognition there by Matt Niskanen jumping into the play as a defenseman to create that chance.
Pretty good first half of the first period.
Outdoor game, you having fun?
I am having a lot of fun. I've had more butterflies before this game, and when you come out and see the crowd, beautiful day, great team, and it's spectacular. It's on the bucket list for any coach.
Does the weather affect your preparation for your group?
No, not at all. It's the weather's been pretty constant here in the DC area, and we got the practice here, so we got a good feel for it. So it's wonderful for the fans. They've had some blizzards as you've been in, and rain, all that, and it's a perfect day for hockey.
Thanks for doing this, Barry. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Perfect it is. 575 wins for Barry Trotz in 15 years with Nashville before coming to Washington this year. Chased down now by Duncan Keith out of Michigan State. Threw it on to Seabrook. Curling with it is Kane. Back across now to Versteeg. Rifled on across now for the hold by Hossa, beg your pardon, by Richards. And that one turned along and can be played right back out again and carried on by Johansson. Got it across because that's off. Back to Johansson and moving out, and then the puck wound up right in the crease. Here's a chance for Niskanen, and that one fought off. Initially a stop by Corey Crawford, and then a play in the crease, but they could not bash it home. And here's Keith with a shot across, and that one is rifled high and wide by Kane. And the puck goes out of play.
Boy, a 3-on-2. A man advantage for the Capitals from the red line in. Brent Seabrook with a huge shot block at the end of this play, but opportunity for the Capitals. Johansson's going to get this puck, and he does a good job of recovering, creating the chance, and Seabrook moves the puck out of harm's way, and then he ends up blocking the shot from Matt Niskanen and jumping into the play.
That was a great job by the Washington Capitals bench, telling the players it was a clean 3-on-2, and they utilized that opportunity very well.
Third odd man rush of this first period for the Capitals.
Here is Hossa turning around behind, wanted to drag it along. Fair got in the way, and Fair is able to take it free. Eric Fair tried to chip one further. Came back out to center where they want to reach him with it. Light gets it onside to him. Fair curls, but then it is knocked loose, played on by Ward to Like, and a shot that went wide. Taken along by Brooks Like around behind, and then lost to Rundblad, who's able to scale it back off, waiting as Brooke Orpik to play it there, and a shot was blocked away by Rundblad again. Stepped into by Ward, played on by Taves, settled down by Backstrom. Brooks Orpik able to turn around behind. Conditions a little better than what he discussed in Pittsburgh, where the passes rooster-tailed with water. Roosevelt able to play it further, off of Carcillo, pitched free from Kruger, in comes Beagle, knifed away by Rundblad, back to Beagle, woofs it around for Ovechkin, peels to the outside, and that went off Kruger, driven on back to the point for Hillen, across to Green with a drive, and a save made by Crawford, rebound, they score! Ovechkin!
Well, the play from Jack Hillen to Mike Green created the whole play. The Capitals working down low. Puck is going to move from one side of the ice to the other, and then Corey Crawford's not able to absorb the rebound, and then Alexander Ovechkin, who was in the corner to start, gets to the front of the net.
You like the play from Hillen that you just talked about. Mike Milbury talked about Ovechkin's celebrations in big moments like this. This is one heck of a celebration from a guy that's got so much enthusiasm for the game.
Oduya's pass is on to Sharp's stick. Throws one in front, blocked away by Braden Holtby. Meanwhile, played to the wall and around the roulette wheel near Hjalmarsson. Jabbed it back along the boards. Trying to play further is Sharp. A log jam, 2 players aside. Away from Shaw, it goes up high and is chased down by Oduya. Harassed there by the big Tom Wilson, and it's given up. Oduya diving play that is made right in front of us by Bickle, and Bickle can step ahead. That is off Shaw, brushed on by Chimera, turned back to Shaw for Chicago, and he sailed it back in. Braden Holtby to stop that one there. Oh, and a flying hit by Bickle. He did not appear to leave his feet, but he crunched his man anyway. This one dropped on back now and played by Hillen on over to Green, and then it's thrown by Keith. Again, it is a pass made back to center by Braden Holtby, carried back on now by Kuznetsov, and it is held by Crawford. Oh, somewhere in this stadium is Jeremy Roenick. Where, sir?
Doc, this is pretty exciting for me because when I was a kid, these guys' ages, I played for this exact team, the Junior Capitals, and I just got to say, how cool of an atmosphere is this?
This is awesome. You don't really get to see this in DC. We don't really have a lot of outdoor ice time, and I think it's really cool because this is a rare moment where there is.
Who's your favorite player?
Nicholas Backstrom!
And you?
Alex Ovechkin.
Hey, we got some real hockey fans out here, and what else you guys got to say here? What else? Let's go, Caps! Oh my gosh! There we go. Back to you, Doc.
Well, their 2 favorite players are out on the ice right now. 19 Backstrom and 8 Ovechkin. Ovechkin gets the second goal in this game. There have been 110 of these games since Sidney Crosby scored in Buffalo in the snow. They have been played all around the world, including Red Square, Hershey Park Stadium, Mexico City, 9 other different countries. Ice can be made just about anywhere. Last year, Dodger Stadium, of course, where the temperature was 62 at the start. Ovechkin's goal from Green and Hillen at 11:58. I guess the one at Red Square sort of pointed out both aspects of Russian life in the last 100 years. It went from a department store at one end to Lenin's tomb at the other. This one rifled back in, and Johnny Oduya can play it there, but taking it away on the bounce was Beagle. Led one ahead, and Backstrom tried to play, but a penalty is coming up, and the call will be a hold. And it is Ovechkin who is protesting. Orpik is gliding toward the penalty box, and who will take a seat?
It's like Backstrom.
Eddie, they're saying he held Jonathan Toews' stick in this situation. Right in the center of your screen, there's a free hand, and he actually holds on to Jonathan Toews. Great eye by Kelly Sutherland, the official.
So to the power play go the Chicago Blackhawks. They are 4 for their last 20. 20% is pretty good. Power play is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. It is Keith and then Sharp, nicely able to keep the bouncing puck and shoots. They score! Patrick Sharp from the blue line, and the lead is cut in half.
Well, Patrick Sharp's 7th goal on the season, 6th on the power play. Face-off win, puck was rolling. Duncan Keith chose not to shoot this puck, and he got the puck back to the point to Patrick Sharp, and Sharp's able to put the puck on net. And I believe it went right in past Braden Holtby with a good screen in front of the net from Andrew Shaw.
It went straight in, and that's exactly where Shaw has to make his living on a power play. That's basically a 5-man power play for Chicago in terms of guys doing their assignments properly, and what a shot by Patrick Sharp.
It is Roosevelt for Chicago. And back in for Holtby from Washington. Rushing along is Kruger trying to keep play alive. Got some help from Rundblad to do that. Meanwhile, it's Niskanen, but taken away by Chicago, and they work it back in deep. Kruger trying to turn away Connaught, and a nice advance here as it's played back across for the carry-on by Johansson. Marcus Johansson flew one that ricocheted back to center, and so the Caps have to get back on side. This is Crawford playing to Rundblad. Rundblad's pass is right on the money to Ben Smith, Boston College product. Forced it back in and burrowed in after it. The test of wills along the boards. You see Patrick Kane, 88, and then Seabrook. Shot back on for Smith, who's bear hugged by Alsman. And finally, it comes loose. The half-boards jostle. A lot of hard work here and a gain of a couple of yards. Mertz to center ice, and then finesse back in by Johansson, so Crawford is out to get it and hurry it along in stride Duncan Keith. Nice play ahead now, taken by Andrew Shaw. Battling continues near the penalty box as it's centered. Flown right back in, and Keith turns, and right after him is Joel Ward. Keith nicely able to turn away from him and feed to Shaw, then to Seabrook, and Seabrook with the long toss ahead. On the money, it's brought right back, and a quick shot is blocked and then covered by Holtby from Brian Bickle. Alexander Ovechkin with a goal that made it 2-0. Sharp from Keith and Kane at 13:36 on the power play cut the lead in half.
Well, welcome back to DC for the Bridgestone Winter Classic. The Capitals lead the Blackhawks 2-1. If you see the initials CR on both teams' helmets and on the trainers for the Chicago Blackhawks, that's in honor of their late assistant equipment manager, Clint Rife, 34 years of age, who passed away a couple of days before Christmas. A beloved figure in the Blackhawk locker room, and as anybody would tell you, the trainer is a lifeline for a hockey player, and everybody's life is much greater with having Clint Rife been in their locker room.
It is Niskanen and then along to Light. Now they are operating in one of the few sunny spots of the rink. Probably by the start of the second, everything will be in shade. And perhaps they will not need to divide the next period in half as they had to do on this one. Who knows? Meanwhile, Versteeg wanted to play, but no luck. Meanwhile, it's outletted on now for the Caps, and Niskanen brings it on. University of Minnesota Duluth player dropped it back in, and Light jostles there around behind with Roosevelt. Walking free is Patrick Kane, connects on to Brad Richards. Nice move back, and the pass was just behind Rundblad, but he recovered okay. Now Roosevelt again. To the last 4 minutes. Period number 1. Winter Classic in Washington at Nationals Park. 2-1, the home team ahead. Poked on, shuffleboard style by Hjalmarsson. Carried back in by Taves. He has Saad going wide. Taves protects and tried to center one in front. Not much luck for a combination there. Hossa behind, Saad in front. Hossa with the puck chased down by Orpik. Worked along to Taves in front for Saad, and he couldn't jam it home.
Saad didn't know where that puck was after it came to the front of the net.
He wasn't alone. Carried back up now by Ovechkin. Ovechkin greases, gave it across, and it was off of Backstrom. Backstrom rattled it around behind. See, it looked like Ovechkin had a pretty good shooting lane there, or did he?
He sure did. We are on a perfect vantage point for that.
Orpik back to Carlson, the shot, and that one geared up to the glass on the reach of Backstrom. Hossa outlets. Taves gives it back to Saad. Tries to get by Connaught. Jay Beagle able to poke it along, and Backstrom shuffled it back in. Ovechkin working here with Seabrook, and it's floated along to Oduya.
2-on-1, Doc. Another odd man situation for the Capitals. Their 4th one of the period.
Bad line change by Hjalmarsson. That's what was going to lead to that.
Patrick Sharp did some work. Burrowing in is Bickle. To a side, and now another pair joins in Shaw. It is Carlson. Played back in again by Shaw. Green got there, but Bickle did first for possession. Thrown off the outside of the cage and then poked away with the help of the defense and also of Holtby. A jam play at the front fails, but a penalty is called from center. The call is a high stick, and who will go?
I think it's going to be Bickle.
I think you're right, Eddie. A lot of jousting down low in front of Braden Holtby.
Well, one power play in the game ended up in the back of the net for the Blackhawks, but ended up being on Brian Bickle. Battle in front of the net with Mike Green. A high stick.
Vincent St. Laurent, who's the official in the neutral zone, he made that call. He was looking right at the slot that moment. He was standing right next to where I am.
Mercedes-Benz power play gets underway for the Capitals. Brouwer able to backhand it around, and it curls up to Green. Pushed it behind, but the Blackhawks get it. They can't clear it. Good block by Ovechkin. Rushed on by Backstrom, gloved along by Hjalmarsson. Pushed on back as far as center, and it's Green. 2 for the last 24 for the Capitals power play, but that was indoors. Maybe it's better outdoors. So far, we get a stoppage on an offside.
Alexander Ovechkin's a big guy, he's a rough guy, and he's a tough guy. And here's an example of his toughness. He's going to get this puck up high, and it's going to be hard. He's going to go down, but he's still going to get up and make a play. Little example of Ovechkin's grit. When he chooses to be a player, Eddie and Doc, he can be as forceful as any player in the league.
I've seen a little chin music in this ballpark before.
Yes. Forced right back in wide of the cage, but not against the Chicago Cubs of Eddie Olczyk. You do what's necessary.
That's right.
And here is Green. New Year's resolution, I won't trash the Cubs for you.
Better not.
At least when you're here. Now we get another jostle play where Brouwer sent a man down, and he's going to go to the box for it.
That's the rule, Eddie. If you see someone's numbers, lay off.
Yeah, you got to pull up there. You're better off to live to fight another day. Get your stick down on the ice. And a former Stanley Cup winner with the Chicago Blackhawks, Troy Brouwer, ends up in the box and negates the power play, the man advantage. Watch the bottom of your screen. There's Brouwer right there. His hands are up, elbows up, and he just drives Johnny Oduya from behind there. No chance for him to protect himself. So again, if Brouwer gets his stick buried on the ice there and plays the puck, not going to get called for a penalty.
That's a good teaching point for a lot of young players that will be watching this game. When you see someone's numbers, back off and keep your stick on the ice. Don't put it in someone's back.
We have Troy Brouwer, probably, Doc, what would you say, about 12 feet from us, right here to our left, to our vantage point? So probably not the time to do any teaching to a young Troy Brouwer right now.
Meanwhile, around behind it's battle for, thrown on by Karlsson. Again, we have 4 against 4, as we did earlier in the period. Corralled now by Orpik. Dropped it along for Karlsson, returned it up to Brooks Orpik. Hitting, shot blocking defenseman. Orpik, long time with Pittsburgh, this time with Washington. Swatted on by Seabrook to center. Versteeg guided it off the skate of Saad. Turns on back, but ran into a wall of Orpik. Right back it comes now to Brooks Light. Here's Light putting on the brakes and gliding on further then. Round behind, he controls. Got it back to Orpik. Shovel shot, and that one grabbed and then sent aside by Crawford for the play to be made up to Saad by Keith. Saad wants to shake on through, looking for help, but he fired one that ricocheted up high and out of play. Kraft is looking for the most passionate hockey community in America. Nominate your community for a chance to host an NHL preseason game, plus $150,000 in arena upgrades. Nominations now open. Kraft Hockeyville. For the love of hockey. That's the end of the sentence right there. Offensive zone faceoff. How do you sense the ice now, Pierre?
The ice has been really solid, Doc. Really, really good. That's why I think we're seeing so much skill here in the first period. And I don't think the sun's been an issue at all for the players, just hearing the communication on the bench.
I think the issue is probably for the coaches, standing much higher above their players and then looking into the, out from the bench onto the ice, looking right into the sun.
Heath chopped it on a cross. Here's Roosevelt firing, and that one blocked away with a pad of Holtby. Onto the back it comes to Roosevelt again. Hands it on to Duncan Keith. On this opportunity, gives it on across now to Taves. Twirls one on. Played further by Kane. Patrick Kane floated it across, and here's Keith with it again. Keith fed one on to Kane. Kane at the wall, got it on back. Sharp a drive, and that one didn't work. Laid back ahead now by Chimera, and sent back down by Ward. 2 seconds and 1. That's the first. 40,000 plus here, and many of them stood to applaud their favorite team and the spectacle in general. Liam, Mike, and Keith are getting ready to bring you the Lexus Intermission Report with a live performance by recording artist Gavin DeGraw in a conversation with Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. The goal scorer of the second one, Alex Ovechkin, is with Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. You having some fun with this game?
Yeah, atmosphere is great, ice condition is great, water is fine, and sun's going up, so everything's fine.
A lot of matchup situations. You're going against Jonathan Toews a lot. What's the best way to crack that matchup?
Just play in their zone. It's simple. They're skilled. They very good in offensive zone, so we have to outplay them in offensive zone.
Thanks for doing this. Have fun this time.
Yep.
38 shots and 3 goals. Alex glancing up into the stands, probably checking out family members who are here. His parents are watching him play today, just like they did a long time ago. 2-1 Caps. Second period about to begin. 33 seconds of a power play to Chicago as we begin. And off and on today, you will see ref cam. There, the puck has been dropped for the second by the referee Francois Saint-Laurent. Played back ahead now by Sharp, and a 90-footed blast goes rattling back around near Beagle. Pushed one, but into Duncan Keith. Got it back across to Sharp, then to Keith again. Over to Patrick Kane, and Kane has shot, and that one wouldn't get there, and it's thrown back down the ice by Carlson. So it is all in shade from one side of the ice to the other for this period of steal. Ovechkin, save, rebound, off the post! Penalty time is up. 2 great opportunities for Alexander Ovechkin. Now curling around behind, here's Andrew Shaw. Looked for help from Oduya, but he hadn't gotten there yet, so more work has to be done by Hossa. Reaching in, Backstrom. Jammed ahead for the carry back out in the play that went off of Ovechkin. Moving for it, Chalmerson. Filtered it ahead off Saab. Re-grabbed and thrown back off by Matt Niskanen and back down. And an icing.
Let's get a look at some plane vision for Alexander Ovechkin. Shorthand situation. Ovechkin, ever the predator, jumps right in, forces that turnover. Bad relay between Duncan Keith and one of his teammates, and Ovechkin gets 2 chances, one of them off the post, Eddie.
Yeah, right off this first chance. Watch him. I believe he knocks this right out of midair. Yeah, and goes over the glove of Corey Crawford, and Alexander Ovechkin with 4 of the Washington Capitals' 9 chances in this Winter Classic.
And here he comes. Off the iron again!
Liam, Keith, and Mike talked about it. Ovechkin's a different player right now. He's having a blast out here. Look out. And here's another little clank fest for Alexander Ovechkin. He's going to come down the right wing, working on Johnny Oduya and just snap it.
Yeah, short side. Yeah, short side on Corey Crawford, and I'm sure that Barry Trotz and the Capitals wish Ovechkin would have done that on that 2-on-1 in the last half of the first period. Puck is finding him.
He has 5 scoring chances now. The Blackhawks with 5. Maybe that will count as a 6th one, as the shot is held by Holtby. Time to go inside the glass. Here's Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. We're just talking about Alexander Ovechkin and his passion level rising. Let's go back to 2011. Watch Alexander Ovechkin in Pittsburgh. The celebration, the happiness, pumping it up with his teammate, former teammate Alexander Semin. And here he is today. This guy's into it. Lambeau leaps, high-fiving, fist pumping, finishing plays off. Alexander Ovechkin's got it all. Tough guy to contain if he's got that kind of enthusiasm.
A jam play at the front. Oh, and pushed over was Holtby. And with that, the net dislodged and play is stopped. And the puck was kept out.
Well, right off the faceoff, Andrew Shaw going forward on this faceoff, gets inside position on Mike Green, and he gets drilled from behind from Jack Hillen. One of those accidentally and purpose into Braden Holtby.
You know, Eddie Hillens had a tremendous afternoon, young man out of Colorado College. I know you got a little Colorado College thing going on, Eddie. Congratulations to your son. Going to Colorado College to play for former Hawks assistant Mike Haviland.
A couple of years from now, yeah, my son Nick. You're right, Jack Hillen had that assist on the goal back in the first period. Made that pass over to Mike Green, and puck ended up in the back of the net.
I know you had a chance to speak with Joel Quenneville. Perhaps we'll get a moment to hear what he had to say, but right now, offensive zone face-off for the Blackhawks. Full strength action as it comes on back to Roosevelt. Roosevelt with a shot, kicked away, and played by Mike Green. Bank one off the linesman skate, followed through though by Hillen, and back down for an icing. What did you learn?
Well, I mean, our vantage point is terrific to be able to take advantage, to be able to go ahead and talk to Joel Quenneville, and hopefully going to get a chance to visit with Barry Trotz of the Capitals after the second period. But I asked him specifically about the odd man situations going back the other way, and he said, yeah, but a couple of those we had an opportunity to get an odd man situation ourselves. Didn't take advantage of missed plays, but one thing he said, shoot the puck.
Well, that's what Andrew Shaw did, though it was blocked down, thrown back on by Brouwer, and corralled and brought on by Baxter. Pushed it right in on goal, never a bad play. That one was stopped by Crawford. Wild Card Saturday night is on NBC, and it's win or go home. As bitter rivals, the Ravens and Steelers clash. Bob Costas, Dan Patrick host Football Night in America. Coverage begins Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern, only on NBC, home of Super Bowl 49. Most of the Caps fans would probably favor the Redskins, but after that, the Ravens over the Steelers here. Off this tie-up, they will do it one more time. Kuznetsov will wade in on this one with Marcus Kruger of Chicago. Forced to the boards, taken on by Johansson. Pushed further to Sharp. Moves up with Smith. Has Kruger moving in too. Pushed it there and Kruger plastered his man. Meanwhile, it's Smith trying to jab it away. Work back up near Kuznetsov, but kept by Keith. More hard work for Kruger. Continues to kick it along. It's helped on back to Keith again. Keith saw a man sprawling on across Kuznetsov, and so he played it to the corner, and out in front it came. Wound up going off of Holtby, and still it's jammed along further. Keith hoping to keep it, and he does. Angles one off for a one-timer by Sharp that is held by Holtby, and play again is halted.
Boy, a little bit of hacking and whacking there between Marcus Kruger and Troy Brouwer. As the puck was being froze by Braden Holtby, you had Kruger and Brouwer just pushing and slashing. And the officials and the rest of the players on the ice ended up coming into the fray near the top of the circle in the Capital zone.
Kruger's one of those examples of the great scouting job they do in Chicago. 149th in his draft year. Obviously, there's the slash against a former Hawk.
They got a couple
Troy
there.
Brouwer.
They got a couple of good ones there. I mean, Troy Brouwer's just a tremendous player and a solid two-way player. He's that type of player that has his nose over his toes when he plays each and every night.
What?
You heard me, Doc. Nose over toes.
Oh, do you? Sees this one come out for Hossa, and that one wouldn't go, and then it's clear where they're in the midst of a change. And Roosevelt got on, and Hjalmarsson got off.
He's all in. Every tip.
Rattled on around, and reaching was fair. Tipped on ahead. Taves tried to settle it down. Pushed on back further, though. Joel Ward did that, and it's jammed along by Carlson, but taken and fed out in front side of the net. Score! Sod! Tie game!
Well, a very slow developing play for the Capitals below the goal line. John Carlson's going to get this puck. He's going to try to move it to Brooks Orpik, and it just hits a dead spot in the boards. Hossa to Taves to Brandon Saad with a wide open net.
That's a perfect definition of tic-tac goal. There's tick, here's tack, and there's goal.
It's the slow pass from Carlson. He tried to move that puck to his partner, and it never got to him because Hossa was in on a forecheck. And then Holtby was coming out to play that shot from Taves. And he made the beautiful pass to the Pittsburgh native Brandon Saad for a wide open net.
Neatly off the boards, Wilson. They rush ahead, and it's Halsner in the onside play. Guided back along toward Wilson, but then Richards. Roosevelt connects ahead. Patrick Kane brings it on. Kane fed one for Richards, then back to Kane yet again. Kane crunched to the boards there by Niskanen. Yanked on now by Chimera. Pumped away from Roosevelt, but back to center. Oh, and down goes Richards, and off will come Chimera.
Well, as Barry Trotz looks on, it ends up being, I believe, the left hand of Jason Chimera. Looked like he got a lot of him, but with Richards falling, power play coming for the Blackhawks. Just that little nudge in that shoulder area of the left hand.
So the power play sponsored by SAP. Caps got the first two from Fair and Ovechkin. Then Sharp later on in the first period. But now here is Keith letting one go. Rebound and whacking away at it was Jonathan Taves. Corralling this at center is Keith.
Eddie, if you're defending against Andrew Shaw where he stacks up in the slot, you want to play him as a defenseman or just let him stand there?
I think you have to let him stand there. I mean, once that shot comes, that's when you go ahead and tie it up. You don't want to make it the 5-on-4 into a 4-on-3 if you get in a wrestling match in front of a net.
Keith to Sharp on this power play, then back to Keith yet again. Patrick Sharp faked the drive, got it over to Kane. Kane is shot, shut off by Holtby. A weather update, and here to do that is Jim Cantore. Jim.
Hey guys, yeah, this is the time of the day. Certainly, if you're not in the sun, it feels a little bit crisp. The temperature's starting to drop a little bit. But those fans that are still in the sun for another 40 minutes or so, it's nice and warm over there. Probably feels about 15 degrees warmer. In another 45 minutes or so, Doc, everybody gets to feel this beautiful 44-degree chill.
Right. So it would be in the 50s for those folks in the sun right now. Not bad. Here's Sharp across now for Keith, and then on across for Kane. Kane dealt it back in. Jonathan Taves with it there. Back to Kane. Hooked at. And then a denial and a good reach by the defense. Circling as Kane dropped it right back off. Can be played on back to Duncan Keith once more. Keith tipped it further. Corralled there by Sharp and then dealt back in deep. Played back on for Sharp. Tricky hop though. And it is outletted by Brouwer. Backstrom tried to get further and was closed off by Taves. And back in it comes. All of this is on a delayed offside. Linesman Scott Cherry standing right in front of us here. This brought right back ahead, and Hossa there. For a moment, we saw not much. That's only an excuse. Played right back along, and Richards watching at the blue line as this careened back to Seabrook, and then dealt back along for Hossa. Hossa gives it across. Richards with it there. Then on back to Seabrook. Then across to Hossa. Very deliberately, he works it back in deep. Saad tried to get to the front. A jam play there. Saad reaches, tried to finesse a pass. Big drive, and that one wouldn't go through as diving to the ice was Brooks Light. Now it is Seabrook in the last 5 of the power play, weaving his way on. Hands it on across to Chris Versteeg. Could not get by, and that one swept away and then cleared.
Power play by Matty Niskanen right there in a one-on-one. We saw Johnny Oduya in the first period do that to Ovechkin. This is a tremendous job by the Washington Capitals at transition defense. But Eddie, the power play for Chicago getting some opportunities.
Yeah, Brandon Saad, pretty simple there. Just get the puck to the net, and Marian Hossa with a quality chance. Look at the aggressive goaltending of Braden Holtby, well out on top of that blue paint. There, Shaw just trying to reach for that puck. The wide open net.
Nudge to center. Big Joel Ward lugs it ahead. Taken on by Roosevelt. Turned around behind near Oduya. Ward jostles in. Fair right nearby as it kicked on over to Roosevelt. Michael Roosevelt floated a bouncer that goes back out to left field. And to the corner it is Dickel. Giving it back over to Kruger. And Kruger lifted a backhand that Dickel tries to gather. Again, shifting to offense, the Capitals, and Ward brought it ahead. burrowing in as Brooks Light, jostled off by Rosabal. Still they battle, and Rosabal wanted to slide it further. Kick back over for the help by Kruger, but the keep by Orpik and the block by Smith. So now Crawford. Delayed offside, the Caps curl out and move back in on the forecheck. Here's Rosabal. Fanned on a pass. Backstrom haunting him, and Backstrom able to pivot away. There will be no stoppage at the halfway point of this period. Conditions, they feel, are equal. So we will just play as normal, 20 straight minutes with no stop at 10. This one careened away from Carlson. Riding on his Hossa, and a save made by Hoppe on him.
There's Marian Hossa's nickname, hello and goodbye. He said hello to Carlson and goodbye.
That puck really slowed up and allowed Hossa to skate into that puck. And second quality chance, A-plus chance for Hossa in this period, right in the midsection of Holtby.
He steered that one back in and came to the bench for a change in lines. 12 1/4 minutes to go, second period of the Winter Classic from Washington. Tied at 2. Oduya wrestling along there with Brouwer, and it's helped on by Kane in front to Oduya, and he plays ahead for Versteeg. Poked it along away from Niskanen and raced in after it, getting there first and lifting Kuznetsov. It's followed up by Brouwer and handed on across for the carry by Niskanen. Niskanen has a man breaking up the wing, Johansson. It's Brouwer across, and Johansson has to steer around behind. Back up the boards it comes for Alsner. Carefully to Marcus Johansson. Looks over the traffic, advances, and hands off. Kuznetsov there. Niskanen a shot. Don't know how it didn't go, and we had a good look. Didn't matter. Too fast. Versteeg brings it on, and Versteeg steps ahead. It looks like the front of the 500-mile race. As fast as these guys move in front. Here's Keith trying to play one further. It is Kuznetsov able to fire one that ricocheted on across and can be played further. Back up the wing, dragged in offside, and play is stopped. Pretty close to being a tie broken by Marian Hossa, but his hopes on that one shattered by the play made by Braden Holtby. Let's take a look at our Enterprise stats. The shots so far, 21-18 in favor of the Blackhawks. Scoring chances even at 10. Score even at 2. 7 shots in the game for Patrick Sharp and a goal. 4 shots in the game for Alex Ovechkin and a goal. Brendan Saad, Eric Fair are the other goal scorers in the game. The shovel guys have done their work.
Sure have. Just talking to the crew for the National Hockey League. Really feel like this is the best ice that they've had for a Winter Classic. Now, one thing that is apparent from sitting right along the glass here, Doc, and Pierre gets this opportunity every night in the normal setting of the National Hockey League, is that it seems like the ice has gotten a little bit slower. I think we saw that on that play by Marian Hossa on that rush. Created that chance a little bit earlier.
Wilson's pass was flagged by Bickle, brings it ahead with Sharp, goes to work on Green. Bickle and Green to the corner and crunch. So Wilson can start it the other way. Pass ahead, geared in by Chimera. The big man backhands one across the net mouth, blocked away, and then Crawford, slightly upended, is just getting back to his feet, and there's going to be a penalty coming up. And it's going to be against the Capitals. Sharp flipped it across, canceled out by Hillen, and the call will be made.
That's why the net was wide open already in Doc for Jack Hillen on the back end. Tom Wilson trying to make an impact on this game earlier. We saw him jousting in the game with Dan Carcillo. You see a little push, little knockdown, and Jack Hillen's going to shoot the puck, and look at the awkward save opportunity for Corey Crawford right here as the puck comes in from the point.
And Wilson's defense, he's out looking to see where the puck is, and Crawford barely outside the blue paint. Certainly nothing intentional there with Tom Wilson. You got to know where you are on the ice, and opportunity, the man advantage for the Blackhawks.
That's one of our 35 cameras in use today, hovering just above that face-off that will take place for the Blackhawks. Wilson sits, power play again for Chicago. Keith able to keep this. Banked it for Kane, got Carlson. Thrown by Orpik, kept by Keith, turned on to Taves, and decided to go deep with it. Pivoting to the outside was Kane, back to Keith. Now Kane. Worked back in and sent across the net mouth. Moving back on is Keith, and a penalty is coming up. Another one. A high stick. A 5-on-3 is coming for Chicago.
Well, John Carlson's making the long skate. And a high sticking call. Carlson looked like trying to sell a call there and didn't get a call, and it gets his stick up. It's just not a good penalty at all. Get your stick buried on the ice. You're not going to get that penalty.
I got to tell you, Eddie, I agree with you 100%, but that Andrew Shaw is so useful in the slot. Used to be Ryan Smith, used to be Thomas Holmstrom. I think now it's Andrew Shaw. That's his domain. And he's as good as anybody in the league at that position in terms of driving goalies nuts and driving opposition defenses nuts.
In the Epic Series, you learned, if you watch that leading up to this game, what an ornery guy he can be in the locker room with his teammates.
He could talk a stamp off an envelope. That's for sure. And I guess nowadays with our generation, this generation now, you can talk the cursor off the send button. That's probably the better way to put it nowadays.
Well, here's Keith dropping it back. Lots of room per man out there right now. A 5 against 3 for the Blackhawks as it's taken by Hossa. Led back to Sharp. Handed on a cross, and it's Keith. Pushed back in deep, the return to Keith. Right back again for Kane to Keith. Returns to Kane once more. Keith a drive. He dumped the shot, blocked off by Beagle. They try to clear and get it as far as center. And a fresh stick from the Blackhawks bench handed to Keith. Kane just walks it inside the line now and can drift even further with it. Led on back to Duncan Keith. Handed on across to Patrick Sharp. Work back into Marian Hossa. Side of the net play did not work for Kane. It's chipped up and out of play. Still 39 left on the 5-on-3.
Good stick there from Matt Niskanen as Hossa was trying to go through the blue paint all the way over to Patrick Kane, who was on his normal side, but the stick of 2 red right in front of the net is able to get his stick in the passing lane. Tremendous defensive play there from Matt Niskanen.
Barry Trotz is really upset. He's giving it to Francois St. Laurent right now on the Washington bench. And the reason why, he thought Jonathan Taves interfered with Brooks Orpik, and he just let St. Laurent have an earful.
This is Washington, where you always think you're owed something more for next time, right? So maybe
we'll be here in a couple of weeks. We'll get right on that.
Okay. Well, it's fed back across now to Hossa. He's got Keith, but he works in deep. Side of the net play. Whacking at it was Sharp. Settled down by Taves. Back to Keith. On across to Hossa. And they return. And Hossa shot a screamer that got the glass. Keith turns off the boards again and looks and deals it back into Sharp. He's got Kane across the net mouth. Gives for Keith, but off his stick. And back to center. And 12 to go on the first of the 2 penalties. Under 9 minutes to go, second period. Winter Classic tied at 2. Taves tried to work his way in. Keith got it across. Moving in is Hossa. Shoots one in front. Battle for there. Taken by Hossa. Sharp a drive. And that one wouldn't go. Handed on across to Hossa yet again. Hossa deals it in. Has it there for Patrick Kane. Drifting is Sharp, hoping for a pass as it's handed on to Keith. Duncan Keith settles it down. Got it on to Patrick Kane. Buffalo native handed it off. Hossa up with it there. Hossa back over to Kane. Sent back across to Hossa again. One man out. Drive by Keith. Battle for it. Side of the net. They poke away at it. Reaching for it was Taves. Buried under traffic. Penalty box empty. Standing ovation from the Capitals fans as they've killed it off. Furious action around Braden Holtby, but no puck went in. It is still 2-2.
You just had an elongated 5-on-3. You didn't capitalize on it. How do you settle your guys down?
Well, it's a blown opportunity. I find 5-on-3 is critical. You got to score, and had some decent looks, but today it should be a shot mentality to get everything off of that, and probably didn't shoot enough.
A lot of good things happening in the game. What have you liked from your team?
I thought we're getting better as the game's gone along here. I think we have the puck a little bit more. Good patience, scored a pretty goal on the second one, but it seems like the pace of this game is faster than the other ones we've seen.
I agree. Thank you, Coach.
You betcha. Thank you.
Sometimes it's fun to just look at the angle of the pictures that come next. Now back to this face-off, settled down by Oduya. Misfire there, but Hjalmarsson recovered, dropped it back along. And so it's an outlet pass that ricocheted off the skate of Backstrom, back down for Crawford to play. Pushed it to Oduya, looks ahead for Versteeg, had to sidestep one of the forechecking Caps and floated one that was flagged down by Richards and carried nicely back on with Kane. Richards rifled it across, hoping for Versteeg, poked away by Green, and can be carried back ahead by the Caps. Down to the last 7 3/4 minutes of the second period in this tie game. The first two for the Capitals, and the tying two came from Chicago. Here's Ovechkin reaching for it, jammed at by Hjalmarsson, floated on by Kane, and can be carried back up by Versteeg. Throws it in and burrows in with Karlsson after. Rattled around behind and Alsner cleared one, but Seabrook with a one-time shot deflected in front and saved by Holtby. Trying to jam it free was the guy who tipped it, Versteeg, but play is halted.
Well, that puck was rolling as it got to Brent Seabrook. Capitals try to move that puck around the boards as it goes through a little bit of that sun, and then redirected by Chris Versteeg in front of the net.
Good eye, Eddie. I was right on the shooting line, and that thing was knuckling to the net, and a great eye-hand coordination from Chris Versteeg.
Well, Joe Quenneville told you, Pierre, some good looks on that power play, more opportunities to shoot the puck, as he mentioned to me after the first intermission. Never a bad play.
He said it to me nicely, Eddie and Doc. He wasn't that nice to his team, and he was explaining it to them.
Saad tried to reach, pushed on back, and it's Karlsson. Jack Hillen played it around behind. You don't last this long in the league if you don't know how to deal with people like ourselves, Pierre. Thrown back across now for Brouwer, right around in front, and it was trouble. And so pivoting with it and trying to play further Kuznetsov. Meanwhile, it's poked along by Kruger. Niskanen wanted to reach, could not. It was off Ben Smith and can be reversed on back. Joel Ward tries to burrow in, canceled out. Good defensive work by Seabrook. Up the boards now Niskanen. His shot ricocheted wide. Played back along by Ward. Fiddled it along on the backhand. Kuznetsov wanting to turn from Shaw, and does. Centered one that's blocked by Keith. Another try. Skip back along near Sharp, and Sharp is able to emerge. His pass, though, went off the skate of Saad. Followed up now by Andrew Shaw. Wants to go by Niskanen, no luck. To the last 6 minutes of period two. And it's Keith. Run off there by Fair. Puck taken along by Ward. Dropped around behind, and Roosevelt prevailed on Light. Now it's Sharp. Sending it ahead to Bickle up the wing. Bickle with a move there on Karlsson, through one that went wide of the glove hand of Holtby. In neutral ice, they will play it and get set for another rush. Rundblad played it ahead, and it went in off of Shaw, who's buried there by Karlsson. Puck around behind is lifted by Orpik. Caps on the attack again. Orpik has to settle it down, though, away from Bickle and out to center in the midst of a lot of player changes. It is Hossa. Watched by Orpik, tries to go by and does. Hossa's shot, and it would not go. To the back, Oduya's shot, and that blocked away by Backstrom. Can be taken by Taves, handed to Hjalmarsson. Wrister kicked away, and then finessed on back to center on the backhand of Karlsson. Ovechkin could not work his way by Johnny Oduya, so it comes on back for Karlsson again. Former U.S. Olympian played this one further, but it got tangled up for a moment, and then is brought back on and gently played in by Orpik. And ricocheted on back where it has to be played again by the defense, in on Corey Crawford, and then to Oduya. Fired on down, and an icing will be called. To the stands, JR with a very special guest.
Thanks, Doc. You know, a lot of people look at hockey players or athletes as heroes. Well, I'm with a true American hero. This is Mike Kane. Mike, give us a little snapshot of your life here.
2003, I was over in Iraq. My vehicle rolled over a landmine that blew up directly underneath me, and I lost my legs. And now I play hockey with the USA Warriors.
How cool is this spectacle, this event, being Chicago Capitals, and that you're here for it?
It's incredible. The Blackhawks took us out on the ice yesterday, and it's a dream come true.
Well, from us so-called heroes to Americans, thanks for your service, for your devotion to America, and obviously for your sacrifice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike will get, thank you, JR. Mike will get to play tomorrow. And he wants the world to know he's a Packer fan. And he did not necessarily agree with the decision on the Detroit step, but he understood it. Anyway, back at the ranch, we have an offside, a stoppage of play. 4:06 to go, second period. And we are still tied with 2 goals apiece. Here in Washington, the Washington Monument, tallest structure in the city at 555 feet. Over 100 years ago, a player named Gabby Street tried to catch a ball dropped from there, missed on the first 12, but got the 13th. He said his hand went numb. Yesterday, Olaf Kolzig and Braden Holtby were both asked by yours truly, what about a hockey puck about the same number of ounces dropped from the Washington Monument? Kolzig said, well, it's not a baseball. It's going to flip, and it's not going to be a real straight drop. And Holtby said, I'll wear my mask. Neither one said that they would not do it. But I think there are rules about dropping things out of the monument now. Followed up by Beagle. As we're down to the last 4 minutes of the second period. To the back, Niskanen, and a shot hit off a stick leaping out of the way. Ovechkin is after Hjalmarsson, presses him to the boards in glass as the puck skitters on its edge and can be played further for Chris Versteeg. So in deep, it's Backstrom, away from Versteeg, taken on by Niskanen. Kept alive, though, by Johnny Oduya, though played, and that one shifted on across and can be handled there and drilled back ahead by Alsman. Hjalmarsson there, and then back ahead for Richards, gives up to Kane. Patrick Kane with a shot turned aside by Holtby. Oduya hands it across, and Hjalmarsson takes over there. 3 1/4 to go in this period. The shots are 24-21 in favor of the Blackhawks. Floated on down, Versteeg drives after it, but it will be an icing. Let's take a look at some upcoming games on NBCSN and the NHL Network, Mr. O.
Well, Saturday, the Leafs and the Jets, and then Sunday on NBCSN, the St. Blackhawks will host the Dallas Stars, and then on Wednesday night rivalry, we'll be in Pittsburgh. We'll be in the Berg. The Bruins take on the Penguins.
So Oduya. Looking was Versteeg, keeping was Green, moving in light, taking is Hjalmarsson, fed along near Kane, but knifed on back by Ward. So here's Fair, who got the first one, and icing is called. Jeff Carter, Jerry Hart, Bobby Holik, Gary Holt, Dave Hunter, C.J. Young, Dave Silk, Devin Setaguchi, Phil Roberto, Betsy Ross, Paul Revere, Merrill Davis, the gold medal figure skater who saw the Red Wings play the Capitals, Sam Flood II, all having birthdays on New Year's Day. Congratulations to all of them.
That's a big one for Sam Flood Jr., 21, huh, Doc?
Yes. Fired around there by, and the operative word is Sam. We call him Sam. Meanwhile, this is taken back ahead now for the control of Sharp. Sharp with a shot that knuckleballed off of Green and had to be blocked aside by Holtby. And then a feed in front, and Holtby got a piece of that one. Onto the back now for Roosevelt. Then on to Sharp and a drive. Oh, and the stick failed. Held by Rundblad, but it's still illegal when it didn't break in half. Rundblad able to send this one across. Roosevelt with it there. And then along now to Sharp. Pushed around behind. Wanting to get there is Bickle. Nudged it on back for Rundblad again. Toe drag and then a shot, and that one fought off and then covered by Braden Holtby. Watch the NHL on NBC Live on your laptop, tablet, or smartphone with NBC Sports Live Extra. Download the app or go to NBCSports.com/Live Extra and watch the biggest events anywhere, anytime. Jim was pointing out earlier that the fans in the sun are probably enjoying the look back down. And the sun glare is not nearly so bad, but you do feel sorry for anyone playing left field here because of the sunshine that we noticed today. Now, there's a different trajectory, of course, in baseball season, as Keith is playing this one along. But you would need the glasses for that. Carl Alsner can lend you some. Played back in now for Orpik. Orpik able to whip one along that Carlson can knock down. Worked on now for Johansson, but that skittered on to Keith. He's got an open man Kruger to bash it back in. The probing continues, trying to break this 2-all tie. 100 seconds to go in the second. Good battle there, and wheeling it was Kruger, but taking over and playing back up the Capitals. It's Johansson nudging on, and Carlson brings it ahead. Here's Carlson, a shot, and an answer there by Crawford, and a scramble in the front, and then it is carried back out again by Ben Smith. Nudged on to Carcillo, jammed it on his backhand back in, and went in after it along with Harvey. Roll block on him as it's played off by Troy Brouwer. Stanley Cup winner in Chicago, playing for Washington. Troy Brouwer got to center, touched away by Oduya, followed up by Brouwer yet again, and tucked right back along, past Johansson and along to Hjalmarsson. Jonathan Toews tried to finesse it through to Saad, who's rammed by Latta, and so it's controlled back out by Hjalmarsson in the final minute of the second. Hjalmarsson across, trouble for Toews, but he's able to rescue around behind and circle. Jonathan Toews, captain of the Hawks, dropped it on back for the take by Hossa, left it behind, and so the Caps will take over.
Got caught in the skates of the official. The Blackhawks are in the middle of a little bit of a cycle offensively.
Fed on to the back where it is nicely circled by Saad. Finessed a pass across, and the shot ricocheted wide. Sent around as they worked further for Hossa. Hossa nicely able to step off the boards with it, but then lost control, and so it's Ovechkin feeding it back up. Backstrom has Ovechkin driving to the net, puts on the brakes, leads it to the back. Niskanen a shot, deflecting a tip in front, and then fought away by Jonathan Toews at the side of the cage. 7 seconds to go in the period. Brooks Orpik to take over there, and is able to just dip behind the net, chew up the remaining seconds of this second period of play. 40 minutes have been played. 48 shots taken, and only 4 have gone in.
Oh, beautiful play by Nicholas Backstrom as he had people going to the net, and he was looking for that second and third wave. It ended up being Matt Niskanen, who had a terrific afternoon with the shot. Instead of shooting the puck, he actually tried to make the pass to Alexander Ovechkin and Jay Beagle, who had gone to the net. A nice play there from Backstrom.
Liam, Mike, and Keith are getting ready to bring you the Discover Card intermission report, but first, it is Patrick Sharp who is alongside Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Doc. Last game you were down 3-0 in Nashville. You came from behind, you won. Today you're down 2-0. How do you explain your team's resiliency?
It's a good question. It's a fun thing about playing for the Blackhawks. You know, we're comfortable playing in front. I think it feels like sometimes we're even more comfortable opening things up and chasing the game from behind. But today's is a fun atmosphere. Before we know it, it's 2-0. We just want to get our feet wet and get back to playing Blackhawks soccer.
You're a veteran of these outdoor games. You having a blast with this one?
Yeah, this is fun. This is probably the best ice conditions that we've had in the 3 games that we played. Still, it's a little different than playing inside an NHL rink. Try to shoot a lot of pucks on net and hope one goes in.
Thanks for doing this, Patrick.
Thanks, Pierre.
Doc?
He has shot a lot of them, 7 so far of his team's total of 26, and 1 has gone in. Live performance of God Bless the USA by Lean Greenwood will be coming up. We'll look back at some of the best ever plays in the Winter Classic. And our memories continue to be made here in Washington with a 2-2 after 2 tie. You're watching the 2015 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic on NBC. No carryover penalties, nor power play time. 2-2 going into the third. I know you had a chance to talk to Barry Trotz, the coach of the Capitals.
Well, he was not happy, Doc. They were losing some battles. His team, the Capitals, along the boards. He really feels that that's an area that they can really kind of take this game to another level. And he also liked the way that the defensemen were jumping into the play and creating a chance, just like on that last opportunity for Matt Niskanen. Don't turn down any shots in this third period. The same message coming from both sides of the ice.
The air ice condition.
Excellent. Best we've had. Couldn't agree more with what Keith, Liam, and Mike were saying. This is probably the best quality game we've seen.
Puck cleared out of play on a deflection, so there's no delay of game penalty there. 9 seconds into the third. It seems like a long time ago when Saad broke the tie at that same end of the ice in the second period. Backstrom to wade in here with Jonathan Toews. Popped up in the air high and out of play.
Not too many times in this game has Ovechkin and Backstrom been away from Hossa and Toews and Saad. It's been interesting, but in the second period, I don't know if you saw it, but 2 or 3 times they had some free ice away from Toews.
Yeah, and that long change certainly helps that matchup. A big penalty kill there, that 5-on-3 penalty kill for the Capitals in that second period.
Play back in, and offside is called.
One little extra move there put Jay Beagle offside.
Not to belabor vision, but earlier we were talking about the sun. Now the lights are on. Does that represent anything unusual to you?
I think just if you get one of those high shoot-ins, high flippers by one of the players, but other than that, I mean, right now, I mean, these conditions are what you would want is at any age of a young hockey player playing outside.
Charging back after this is Carlson. Right after him is Versteeg. Carlson chopped it along, taken by Brooks Orpik, shuffled on the backhand ahead, and can be played by Fair. Dropped on out to center, reaching for it was Brooks Laich, and it's jammed right back in. Hjalmarsson sees Laich take over here. Hjalmarsson defends him. Meanwhile, it came in front. Oh, and Fair with a shot, and that one blocked down and crumpling to the ice, but now getting back to his feet is Versteeg.
They got him in the arm, and he's in big time trouble right now trying to get off.
Taking his place is Dan Carcillo, and the puck hops to him. Gave it back on to Kane, drops to Carcillo, back to Kane, and a shot is blocked away by Holtby. Rebound off the outside of the cage, and booming into the boards and in pain. Just now getting to his feet is Carcillo.
Brooks Orpik lit up Carcillo.
Intercepted by Keith, played to Carcillo. Carcillo jammed it back in, and a nice stutter step move by Green to take over the puck and fire it. Keith to keep it alive. Kuznetsov plays it there. He's got Johansson and plays it ahead to him, moving back up along with Brandon Saad. Meanwhile, this is jammed along and thumping into the boards was Johansson. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, Versteeg catches one right in the lower arm area, getting some attention there from Mike Gapsky. Goes out to block the shot of Eric Fair and just buckled him and ended up losing a stick right after that as well.
And Danny Carcillo is no stranger to physical play, and you're going to see in a situation Brooks Orpik's just going to lean into him a little bit, lifts him right off his feet.
Orpik leads his team. Sorry, Pierre.
No, I was just going to say, there goes Chris Versteeg.
Okay. Seems to be all right. Orpik leads his team in hits and blocks. It's not often that a defenseman does both. Okay, beg your pardon then. It was Versteeg leaving the ice and not able to return.
Getting some medical attention right now as he goes into the dugout.
Not a lot of padding where he got hit, Andy. That's part of the problem.
And add the temperature as well.
Yeah.
Shot by Laich, and a second attempt by Laich is covered up by Crawford.
I think Crawford might have taken a stick here as Brooks Laich was going hard to the net. Play until you hear a whistle, and it'll look like from our vantage point right here at ice level about 120 feet away as that Laich ends up hitting Crawford with his stick. Bit of a follow through there from Brooks Laich. Good quick developing play. Rebound possibly there, and then the stick ended up hitting him right upside the left side of the mask.
Big boys come on for the Capitals now. Latta to take the face-off. Caps get the last change, being the home team, so they brought in some bulk here on this face-off, and a Hillen shot is grabbed and held by Crawford and then played back, but the whistle had blown.
Face-off win here, clean win for the Capitals. The opportunity there for Jack Hillen with the quick shot from the back blue line area. Nice one face-off there with a skate by Latta.
It's Ben Smith taking the draw, not Marcus Kruger again. Ben Smith's the guy that got beat clean by Latta the last time. A little surprising.
Yeah, on that side of the ice, they like to take that face-off there. The strong side for Ben Smith, and 50-50 there. One for Latta and one for Smith.
Yep, good point.
Neat block by Green, but it's followed up and sent by Kane. Collared by Chimera, flipped ahead and can be carried on by Wilson. Nudged across for Latta and then sent along by Smith. So it is Mike Green. Chipped one that went off of Wilson. Forced right back in deep, and Roosevelt patrolling there. Dropped up a bit by Chimera. Chimera tried to jam it free, and it's Kruger around behind, and Kruger emerges with it now, and skyhooks one to center. Bounced right on for the leave behind by Bickle. All of this is on a delayed offside, which is whistled down. Let's take a look at the player profile presented by SAP, and it focuses on the Capitals captain. A goal, 9 shots attempted, 4 on goal, a +1 rating. And at the end of two periods, it was 2 hits for him.
Well, the SAP numbers will tell you that he's had quality chances, and I think our official account is that he has had 2 posts as well, 1 crossbar and 1 post. Well, the puck has been finding the man known as the grade 8 here in BC.
Two players tumble. Another emerges in Johansson to hand it across to Niskanen. Niskanen checked off by Sharp. They test right in front of the Blackhawks bench. It comes back for Seabrook. Floated ahead for Andrew Shaw. Taken along and pivoting back with it now, Johansson. So they settle things down with 3 minutes, 50 seconds on here in the third period of play. Meanwhile, it is battled for and nudged on back. Beg your pardon, 3 minutes gone here in the third period. Back across now, it's Alsner. Alsner wristing it back in, and it rattled around for Duncan Keith. Left behind, and it's nudged along further to be dragged on by Johansson. Defended there by Seabrook. 4 hands behind, hoping to get Brouwer, and he got him. Brouwer able to shuttle it around behind. Let's go Caps is the big chant from 40,000 people here today. It is Orpik with a shot, and that one rattled off of someone in front and can be nicely gotten by Beagle fresh from the bench. Turns around Taves. Johansson a shot, paddled away by the netminder Crawford. Away from the reach of Beagle. Circling now and bringing it back is Taves. Laid it across to Keith. Connects circle to Seabrook. Little quicksand here at center ice in terms of a defensive structure for the Caps. They tried to break it by dumping in, but they didn't get possession. Players canceling. Nudged off Smith. Trying to dance free Kane. No puck there, and it's poked away from Ovechkin. Constant changes in possession between the blue lines. Off of Backstrom, nicely shuttles it back and hands it back over for Brooks Orpik to take. Boston College product takes a look ahead. Slides it on across now for Green. Connected back along for the play by Beagle. Moving in for this is Johnny Oduya. And then behind, lifted by Hjalmarsson. And we get a stoppage of play. The puck had been played by a stick that was high.
Eddie and Doc, as he came off from his last shift, he just looked at everybody on the bench. Jonathan Toews said, it's time for us to get going again, fellas. And you have to wonder, Eddie, and it's a question for you, who did they replace Chris Versteeg with in terms of flow on the lines?
I mean, it's been Ben Smith the last couple of shifts, so moving him up from the fourth line. But for Joe Quenneville, a coach that's not afraid to change up the lines, I thought maybe a guy like Patrick Sharp will get the opportunity to bump up with Richards and Kane, and probably won't be the last line combination change by Joe Quenneville in this third period.
It is Green. Sharp in the way. The battle on to a side. Shaw gets up and heads to the front, but the puck taken by the Caps, nudged on by Wilson to Chimera, has Hillen up the wing, trying to work. Oh, and a touch right at the last moment. Looked like a great chance, but back now comes Shaw. Here's Shaw trying to work his way through. Has to go to the corner with Niskanen. Plata with a little lacrosse check to the back of Kruger. Meanwhile, up the boards, it's tipped on out by Wilson. Rushing is Hjalmarsson. Finessed it to the safety of center, and Shaw can play it back to him.
There's another Capital defenseman jumping into the play. What a beautiful pass by Jason Chimera to create that 3-on-2 into a 2-on-1.
Back Hillen just missed capitalizing.
Here's Son, protecting and backhanding one that's knocked down by Alsner. Digging for it was Kruger. Taking over is Brooks Light. Laid it on across now, chased down by Ward. Ward with a shot that was wide of the cage. Throwing back along and taking another shot was like another shot by Fair is grabbed by Crawford. More offensive opportunity here in the third.
Oh, beautiful play by Jason Chimera to get this puck up. Tom Wilson's going to go harder than that backhand pass, and then Wilson holds, and it just goes right under the stick of the defenseman Jack Hillen.
There's that other chance for the Washington Capitals. That's actually the Hillen chance again. Here's the most recent opportunity. Watch Corey Crawford square to the shooter. Eric Fair, the goal scorer, is going to get the puck, and Corey Crawford just rips it out of the air.
Third period chances are 5-1 Caps. Joe Quenneville was saying yesterday that Corey Crawford has had strong parts of the last half of games as a shot by Ovechkin is knocked down, and that as games have gone on, he has gotten stronger. They rule a deflection, and so there'll be no penalty.
Jay Beagle's stick, Doc.
The fans here are expecting things to even up in terms of calls.
So is Keith Jones, the former great Cap.
That's what you always think, but you cannot make up a call. And I'm sure Keith is about ready to argue, yes, you can. Carlson across to Orpik. Rattled off the glass, and around it comes for the jab by Oduya. Hjalmarsson reaching. They try to center. No luck from Backstrom. Played on by Beagle. Backstrom there duels with Taves. Backstrom turning and giving it on back to Carlson. Then across for Orpik, but he must play back in neutral ice. 6 minutes have been played here in the third. And we are, as we've been since 3:15 had been played in the second. Tied at 2. Saad got that goal for Chicago. Icing is called here. More weather news, Jim Cantori from Weather Channel, sir.
Yeah, Doc, we're up here at what they call the top shelf with mostly Capitals fans and one Blackhawks fan who's still barely alive. We're getting the last vestiges of sun up and through here, but it's beautiful. It's almost warmer here than it is down on the ice. Doc,
air temperature at the start, 44. Ice temperature, they like to keep it 22, and as Pierre said, it's been really good. Here is Kane with a shot, and that one blocked away. Played along by Carlson, knifed away from Kane, rescued by Beagle. Beagle floated one that Keith will go chasing, and the Blackhawks will see the Capitals making a shift change. Perhaps they'll answer with one of their own. Dan Carcillo is standing there, but that was for a stick exchange. Meanwhile, this goes rattling around in and kicked away from Bickle, followed up by Niskanen, touched over by Troy Brouwer.
Now you have Bickle, Richards, and Kane. To Pierre's question a little bit earlier about who's going to take that spot of Christopher Steed, who getting some medical attention after blocking that shot.
Kane could not follow through. We do have shovelers, and if there's snow buildup, they get a chance to come out with the shovels and deal with it. Here's Kuznetsov trying to finesse his way through. Meanwhile, it's hoisted on out to center. But we do notice some snow buildup on the ice, but that's just normal. Played right back ahead for a float that will not work for Kuznetsov. And so they retreat to play some more. Moving along with this is Rundblad. Rundblad nicely able to escape the center ice with it, leads the rush ahead. Rundblad to the corner with it now. Tried to center one in front, it went off Hillen. Touched by Fair, worked further, but then chopped away and it bounced on back for Carcillo. The backhand one in front that's whacked at by Kruger, hopped wide for Green. Green's pass just reached by Ward, but not controlled. Nearly 8 minutes played. Is this a time when you have to be any more careful with passes than you would earlier, or is that not a fact?
No, I think now both teams realize how this ice is playing, but I mean, everything's got to be hard, especially when you're playing outside.
Here's Hillen, a shot and a save made by Crawford on him. Brooks Laich is pressed there by Roosevelt.
The ice conditions are not the same as a normal game, and here comes a power play.
So a critical point in a 2-2 game, a man advantage for the home team in a moment. Here are your NHL insights presented by SAP. Look at that moon. Coyotes fans out in Arizona be howling now. Shots on goal, that's it. Power play 1 for 5, Blackhawks 0 for 1 Capitals. The fans were leaning on that 1, and now they get 2. The full moon explains a lot, but perhaps not the penalty to Andrew Shaw, who sits. Power play time 5:28 for Chicago, just 52 seconds for Washington today. Important penalty kill for the Blackhawks, who are the best in the league at it. They've killed off all but 2 of the last 21. That's terrific. But here's Green. Has Ovechkin to his left, hoping for the one-timer sometimes. Dealt back along for a play to be made by Johansson to Backstrom to Green to Ovechkin for the drive. Oh, and a headhunter screamed off the glass past the waving glove hand of the netminder Crawford. On back now to Green it comes. Green working to Backstrom, then dealt toward the front. Rifled for Ovechkin, but it ricocheted off a stick and can be cleared. Taves comes from the bench. He and Hossa penalty killing with Oduya and Seabrook. Brought back in by Johansson, left there. Reaching was Hossa, reaching in as Oduya, and Oduya is able to get some help from Taves to clear it back down.
Outstanding pressure there from Marian Hossa on the backside. Oduya steps up, support outlet from Taves, clear it down all the way.
10 3/4 minutes to go, third period. We will not stop at the 10-minute mark. Conditions are equal. Here is Backstrom stepping along with it. He's got Green nearby. Hossa watching him. Gives it back for Green's drive. Pad stop Crawford. Rebound cleared by Hossa. Back down.
Boy, Troy Brower looked like he would have had a wide open net with the quick stick of Johnny Oduya.
Right on, Eddie. Oduya just saved the goal.
Two-zone pass for Ovechkin could not be handled well, and so they'll get it organized more conventionally here with 35 to go in the power play. Kuznetsov roaring ahead for the Capitals, drifting now with it, feeds it on back to John Carlson. Carlson to Ovechkin, a shot, getting a piece of it with his stick was Crawford. Sent on back to Carlson yet again. He's got Johansson, but fires himself, and that one blocked off in front. Another try, Ovechkin would not go. Bouncer is kept alive by Carlson. Down to the last 15 of the power play. Carlson fakes the drive, got it on a cross. Kuznetsov able to twirl there. Watched by Ben Smith, and a shot rattled off someone and ricocheted out of play.
Well, the Capitals really in a shooting mentality. Watch right in front of that. There's Troy Brower right there in the quick stick of Oduya to knock that opportunity away from Brower.
And then it's Corey Crawford to the rescue. Walker active. Guys are trying to help him out. There's a little self-help from Brooks Lake. But Corey Crawford's had a tremendous game here, along with Braden Holtby, by the way. The goaltending's been good for both teams in this game.
2 shots on goal on this power play for the Capitals that has 4 seconds left. And Oduya will take care of that. Floating one that has to be retrieved by Orpik. And the teams are back even. And they're even on the scoreboard. It's knifed away from Chimera in a good reach by Johnny Oduya. Away from Shaw and back down. Icing is waved off as Bickle got back there quickly. Thrown back along by Fair. Dragged on by Beagle. Wanted Chimera, but instead it's Sharp. Ripped back off of Bickle. Fired back out again by Niskanen. Tipped away from Rundblad. Hustling back after it Chimera. Chimera turning now. Throwing one out in front that's guided away by Crawford. They burrow around behind and a puck comes out in front. Bickle able to turn it back up now for Sharp, and he's able to race ahead with it. Patrick Sharp drifts, drops back to Rundblad, and the shot was deflected up out of play. 8:58 to go. Third period of play. We are still tied at 2.
Oh, there's team president and CEO John McDonough, Chicago native. And speaking of Chicago natives, let's go to Jeremy Roenick with a view from Chicago.
Thanks, Eddie. I'm here with the 2 Chicago Blackhawk fans from Chicago. Came all the way in, had trouble getting tickets. This is Todd and his son, Garrett. One of the cool things about these things, you can do a father-son trip. How's it been?
Oh, it's been an unbelievable experience. He's having a blast. Like we said, it was impossible to get tickets. We got lucky enough, his hockey league, Easton Ice Hawks, got us tickets, and he's been amped up ever since Christmas.
What does it mean to be able to experience this with your son, and what kind of memories is this going to last for a long time?
These are going to last forever. I'm extremely excited. He is. What do you think, Gary? Having a blast?
Yes.
Who's your favorite player?
Blackhawks.
Who's your favorite player on the Blackhawks?
Patrick Kane.
Yeah, Patrick Kane. Says right there. I think that's Dad's too, Eddie. Doc, back to you guys.
Backstrom leads onto Ovechkin. Turn back over. Backhanded by Shaw. Fought off by Holtby. Rebound. They scramble in front. Poke away at it. Taken along by Sharp. Wrapped it around, but not in. Or is it? We get a stoppage of play. The net may have become dislodged. But I heard something hit the iron. It may have been the puck or a goalie stick.
Yeah, great pickup, Doc. Very tough to see from our vantage point with all those players right in the blue paint, and as Patrick Sharp wraps this around there, you see the angle of the net off the goal line. Clearly the right call made by the official as Matt Niskanen and Brian Bickle go hard into the net, and reaction with Patrick Sharp thinking that puck had gone into the net.
So we remain at 2-2, 8:45 to go in the third. Rolled around behind where it can be played by Beagle. Challenged by Bickle. Forced behind. Orpik goes after it with Sharp. They close off. Hjalmarsson saw it tipped ahead. Carried on by Backstrom. Wanted to weave one through, charging after it. And unable to generate anything right away was Beagle. So it is one-handed along by Oduya. Finessed by Sharp and carried on by Bickle for the shot that bounces wide. Floated along to Bickle. Nice kick to control, but knifed away by the Capitals and forced on but out of play into the bench area by Alexander Ovechkin. 8:10 to go, third period of play. What would happen if you put Geraldo Rivera, Vivica A. Fox, and Terrell Owens in a room together with Eddie Olczyk in a racing form? We can't wait to find out. The new season of Celebrity Apprentice premieres this Sunday, 8 Central on NBC.
Could be heading to the Triple Crown or the Breeders' Cup, Doc.
Shots are 30 to 30. Goals are 2 to 2. Hillen turned, got some help, and it's thrown back out again by Johansson, followed up by Kuznetsov, who gains the zone. Kuznetsov wedged off by Seabrook so that Keith can play it back to him, touched rapidly up the boards for Kane, and right back ahead. They try to get there, and burrowing in is Saad. Going to work on him is Mike Green. Forced on by Hillen, turnaround across the net mouth wide from Brad Richards.
Boy, he had Kane wide open.
Carried back by Kuznetsov, dropped it back over to Johansson to Kuznetsov, a backhander would not go. All remarkable goalkeeping in this contest today. Right back ahead with it now comes Richards. Richards holds and swung one that ricocheted off the outside of the cage, changing direction off a capital skate. So it's Rosabal. Rundblad takes a look at everything that's filtering around him now. Shift changes have been made. Jonathan Toews has just jumped onto the ice from the boards. It's Sharp with a shot that's carefully held by Braden Holtby. And with 7:06 to go in the third, we stop again.
Boy, a couple of close calls down here in front of Braden Holtby. That last chance, Doc, to Brad Richards. That puck took about 3 or 4 different bounces. Almost had that pinball effect. He was actually trying to make a pass almost from second base to right field. The next thing you know, the thing just took a hard right and went right to the left side of Braden Holtby.
Don't you think, Eddie, right now both teams just get pucks to the as often as you can?
Without a doubt, and whether you're playing outdoor here at Nats Park or somewhere in Minnesota, the game's on the line. Now the tempo and pace really goes up.
Rosabal hands it on across. Rundblad able to play it back around behind. Sharp turning there. Duels with Orpik. Puck kicked along now to Ward. Orpik gives it on now to Brooks Light. Light carried off. Rosabal duels with him. Fair moved in. Eric Fair able to wheel it on back to Orpik. Orpik slides it across. Carlson is shot, and it's deflected up to the glass by Crawford. Sent off that high glass and battled for behind. Ward couldn't come up with it there. And it's along now for the twisting move by Sharp that gets it as far as center. And he will come to the bench for a change, and it looked like he got hurt on the play. Meanwhile, Like across for a shot by Ward, and eventually it's held by Crawford. So we had one Blackhawk go down. Versteeg, to our knowledge, Pierre, has not returned, but Sharp was shaken up just now.
Sharp is fine. He's just recovering on the bench right now. But no, Versteeg is yet to return. That didn't look good, by the way, on Chris Versteeg when he blocked that shot, but Sharp's fine.
Okay, with one less forward, a lot of line changing going on by Joel Quenneville. We just saw Sharp out there with Toews and Hossa. Now you have Saad, who had been with those two, and Toews and Hossa's out here with Ben Smith and Kruger.
The Hawks to the offensive, but decide to acquiesce, and so it's sent on across now for Hillen by Green to Backstrom ahead. Met at the line by Hjalmarsson. Hop deep after is Oduya. Meanwhile, Oduya again, but Beagle around behind. Beagle still working there, able to work at far side for a shot by Ovechkin that ricocheted on back. Green with a shot, and that one deflected around behind, taken along by Backstrom. As Ovechkin nearby, but preoccupied with a whack that came from Hjalmarsson. The feed in front, and the shot is kicked away. Ovechkin tries to get free. Stick was held from Beagle. Fans wanted a penalty, none called. Meanwhile, it's on back for Backstrom, a shot just beyond the glove hand of Crawford. And he'll hold this one. 5:26, third period. Tension building in the cold weather and the excitement of Washington, D.C. in a tie game. 42,832. Got a thought about some future game in some future year. How about Beaver Stadium, Penn State, capacity 106,500. They've had a crowd of 111. The record set at Michigan Stadium last year, 105,491. Just a thought toward the future. And if it rains the day before, they can practice at that brand new rink that's just wonderful at Penn State.
Bula Ice Arena.
Jammed around behind for a play by Toews in front. It is Keith in deep. forcing one around behind that can be played by Saad. Touch to the back. Seabrook a drive, and that went off the knee of Orpik. Chased down by Brooks Light. Seabrook is back. Light moves on. Light trying to work around behind and goes to the corner with Seabrook. Meanwhile, meeting him in there is Marian Hossa.
Great recovery there from Seabrook on that one-on-one. Great stick.
Sent behind by Joel Ward, taken on by Keith, worked by Saad, carried by Taves, advanced off of Hossa. 4:40. If tied, there will be an overtime. If still tied, a shootout. Those of you watching last New Year's Day, remember. Bouncer whacked along by Hjalmarsson, sent further by Johansson, carried back up by Bickle. Here's Bickle motoring on with Sharp, got it to him. Sharp taken out of the play, but angles it on to Bickle. Knocked away by Hillen, just away from Shaw, can be played by Brouwer, and Brouwer's pass is on the money for Johansson. Go connected back out again for the carry on by Sharp. His shot was blocked away by Holtby. Oduya flipped one along, and a penalty is coming up, I think.
They're calling offside there.
I think the Blackhawks may have gotten away with one.
They did.
65.
Yes, Andrew Shaw certainly did.
Right in the high slot.
This is what Doc was alluding to, Andrew Shaw. Convenient on purpose, Eddie?
Yeah, that looked very similar to the penalty a little bit earlier in the game. Tom Wilson took the skates out from under Corey Crawford.
Back down for an icing.
Patrick, sorry, Dr.
No,
Patrick,
right.
I was just going to mention Patrick Sharp with 10 shots in this game. Still 4 minutes left to play in regulation.
It's funny to see Carl Alsner and Patrick Kane just chatting and sharing a chuckle a minute ago. Opponents, but for 3 seconds, the guard dropped just a second. And now back on. Niskanen banks it ahead. Down it goes, and Hjalmarsson after it. Wedged it up the boards, and it can be taken there by Kruger. Carefully back to Hjalmarsson. 3:45 to go in the third. Alsner forced it away from Kruger. Worked back out where it can be handled by Keith and blasted back in. It is Richards leading it across, but Joel Ward there. Tipped it on back, hoping for help from Niskanen, but Shaw got there. Led it on to Kane. Flipped around now for Shaw, and we're going to get a delayed penalty against Washington. Here's Seabrook, then on to Kane. Kane taking a look, drifting across. Got it on to Sharp. Side of the net, it banked on for a play to be made behind by Seabrook, but eventually it's held, and we're going to get a boarding call.
Matt Niskanen's going to get it for boarding on Andrew Shaw. Niskanen comes in, Shaw turned, and there you see from behind in the boards. That's what the referee sees.
The sixth power play for the Capitals, or I checked that for the Blackhawks, the Capitals have had 2. So power play number 6 in a 2-2 tie with 3:11 to go. Sharp able to have this one. Then Kane takes a look toward Keith, deals it into Taves. Taves has Sharp, gives it to him. Then Taves, then Sharp. Then Taves, then Kane. Dropped it off to Taves, fed one in front, blocked off by Brooks Orpik, and Orpik is able to clear, though not out. Held by Sharp, given back across now. Keith gives to Sharp, then on to Taves. Has Kane nearby and gives to him. Couple of head fakes and then to the back. Sharp a drive, and that one blocked up high off of Brouwer and can be played further by Keith. Rattled on around and Kane can take it. 1:15 to go power play, and they rule that Sharp did not hold it in.
It looked like from my vantage point that it just had barely come out over the line. Has to come completely over the line. It looked like it just might have been on the edge of the blue, but it was ended up being official behind Patrick Sharp that made that call. Tim Nowak was on the opposite side. Scott Cherry was right in front, but that's not his call. Off this tie-up, Hossa flicked it on back, and Crawford will come out to 10.
2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third period of a 2-2 tie. 42,000 watching here in Washington, and all of you. Given across the Seabrook, a drive, pad stop, rebound. It's flipped along, not out. Set up now, another shot. A headhunter got the Bickle, off of Bickle's stick, got the glass, and can be played on around. And once more, it is Seabrook to hold. Then along to Saad, looking to the front where Bickle has planted himself. Seabrook shooting, and that one blocked off. Rebound turned around to the front and cleared back down again by Beagle. Half a minute to go on the power play. 2 shots on this power play already. Rifled back in by Seabrook. Around it goes near Bickle, touched behind, but it's Alsner to play it there to Backstrom, and Backstrom is able to make them chase. Richards again. A dozen seconds to go on this power play to the last minute 20 of regulation time. Alsner tries to deal with Taves, and there'll be a penalty coming up, and this one is going to be on the Blackhawks. The call is a hook. It will be Taves to the box, and a power play for the Caps late.
4-on-4 for 2 seconds. We saw a penalty that should have been called on Andrew Shaw before. Wasn't called. He takes a hit from behind on Matt Niskanen, and then, boy, that stick was not in the midsection very long by Jonathan Taves. Real quick, and it looked like it got all stick, but right in front of the official again. Calling it awfully snug all of a sudden late here in period 3 of the Winter Classic.
Everything runs through Nick Backstrom on this Washington Capitals power play, 19 in red.
Niskanen is out of the box, and so the advantage begins. Rifled by Hjalmarsson, and back down. The final minute of regulation time.
If the Capitals make any adjustment on their power play, everything's been to the outside on their power plays.
Johansson moving along with it, pivots and hands off. Backstrom back to Niskanen, and he couldn't handle. So back at center, they will drift with 3/4 of a minute separating these teams from overtime. Rifled back in by Ovechkin, slowed down by Crawford, worked by Brouwer, around behind again. It's thrown into traffic by Hjalmarsson, and he battles some more. Picked up by Keith, tries to muscle it on, gets it as far as center, and so it's Niskanen. Half a minute to go. Floated back onto Ovechkin. Rattled back in yet again. Around it comes to Hossa. Drills it back along off a Capital out of play. Center ice face-off. 1:09 of power play time, but only 22.2 here in the third. That power play time would carry over.
Well, if the Capitals are going to shoot the puck in, they have to do a better job of retrieving it. Can't just shoot the puck in and think it's going to get back to you. Made it very easy to this point for the Blackhawks while shorthanded.
Green to Ovechkin and back. Watched by Seabrook, who blocked it. Ovechkin tried to follow up. Loose puck. Shot. Score! It's Brouwer! And it's 3-2 with 12.9 to go.
Well, instead of shooting the puck in, Alexander Ovechkin's able to carry the puck in. The quick pass from Mike Green. Now watch what happens. Ovechkin breaks his stick. Right there, it gets slashed right out of his hands by Brandon Saad, and from about 35 feet out, the former Blackhawk Troy Brouwer beats Corey Crawford.
That was just quickness more than anything else, Eddie. What a shot by Brouwer. What a great play.
I mean, literally a broken play. The stick of Ovechkin. He's wondering why there was no penalty. And then Brouwer goes glove side. I mean, it looked like from that vantage point is that Crawford was able to see that. I don't think there was a screen at all.
I don't think there was a screen, Eddie. I just think that release was so quick it fooled Crawford just a tinge.
He spun. I mean, Brouwer did a complete spinorama there, and he just finds his puck. But watch the area of the ice. There's Brouwer right next to Ovechkin. Yeah, maybe right there as Ovechkin was coming without a stick, maybe at the last second he moved out of the way, and Brouwer is able to take that shot. You see Crawford kind of leaning a little bit, but that's one of those I think you got to stop.
Saad was guilty of a slash on the play. The penalty sticks. The Blackhawks have 5 guys out right now because the net is empty.
And that's the right call, no question. Penalty on Saad for the breaking of the stick from Ovechkin.
To the last 10. Grabbing it is Holtby, throwing it away for Orpik. Played up the boards and chipped along. One-timer, Seabrook blocked in front. Carlson, another shot. And reaching for it is Ford, and the game is over. Play goal at 19:47, 59:47 of the game. The Capitals led 2-0. It was tied for the longest time before Brouwer cashed in. It is a classic tradition. And Troy Brouwer, you notice, got a couple of extra handshakes from some of his old teammates.
Are able to get the puck into the offensive zone. Holtby thinks about freezing it, throws it in a corner. It's kept it at the point. Seabrook with the shot, and this puck just starts taking a crazy carom right off the stick of John Carlson, right to Patrick Kane, and Braden Holtby really aggressive there with an outstanding stop. And you see the reaction from Holtby after stopping Kane with literally 1 second remaining in the Winter Classic.
Joel Quenneville, Barry Trotz, coaching staffs having a word at center ice. All very friendly and respectful. Capitals players hold their sticks up to salute the crowd. Pierre McGuire, Troy Brouwer.
Thanks very much, Doc. Game-winning goal. Take us through it.
We've been working hard to try and get some PPs the entire night. Won a face-off in the neutral zone, and Obi came in wide, broke a stick, and luckily I just was able to pick up the puck, turn around, kind of throw it on net. I think I handcuffed Croft.
You played for the Chicago Blackhawks. You played in a game back when it was at Wrigley Field. What was this game like compared to that one?
It was a lot of similar feeling. Home game there, home game here. Family in town, a lot going on. But the crowd here was amazing. The crowd in Chicago was phenomenal. But the fans here in Washington, we love them to death. They do a great job for us, putting on a great event, and we're real happy we could get a win for them.
Troy, does this game help the hockey environment in Washington?
I think it does. Over the past couple of years, drafting Ovechkin, drafting Backstrom, they've really put a lot of good hockey fans in the seats, and this does nothing but good things for the city of Washington and hockey in Washington.
What's your takeaway moment from this Winter Classic?
Walking on the ice, I think, was a big moment. It's always fun. They did a great setup over there with the Capitals. And obviously the finish, being able to score a goal against my old team is also real special.
You had a fantastic month of December. Now you're starting January, obviously on a roll. Can you springboard by using this game?
I think so. I think we only had one game where we didn't get a point in the month of December, and we want to continue that. We had some good games against Pittsburgh and the Islanders, teams that we want to catch in the standings, and tonight goes a long way towards catching them, and we want to continue rolling, and tonight was a great stage to do it on, dramatic finish, and it gives us a lot of confidence and excitement going forward here.
Congratulations to this, and thanks very much for doing this, Troy.
Thanks, Pierre.
Doc?
The season will be half over a week from Saturday. But Washington is in third place, 1 point ahead of the Rangers, and 6 behind the Islanders for second. Lots more to come because of the Troy Brouwer goal. It was the Capitals 3 and the Blackhawks 2.